Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And you may have noticed that we recently uploaded the first in a series called Stone of the Day. And Stone of the Day actually probably won't be a daily series, but a couple of times weekly, with the hope of eventually making it a daily thing. And Stone of the Day features Terry Milton, the Stone Lady, who is a wonderful and fascinating person who reads stones according to their meanings. When Terry reads a person, what they normally do is they select one or several stones, and she reads them by what they're attracted to on that day. Now, the stone of the day will be basically a stone drawn for that particular day, in much the same way that we would do a tarot reading for the day. So I hope that you enjoyed this format, and I thought that I would take this occasion to say a few words about divination. You may also have seen in the news recently where the small town of Beebe, Arkansas, I believe it's a small town, was recently showered with 1,000 dead birds and about 100,000 dead fish for reasons still undetermined. And, I don't know what this means to the town of Beebe, Arkansas, but it's certainly an omen of some sort. And one of the things that it got me thinking about is, some people think that if there's a natural explanation for something, that it does not have a metaphysical aspect. Now, I'm sure that they will find a good explanation for why those 1,000 birds and 100,000 fish died, but that doesn't mean it's not an omen. Omens, and magic in general, does work through the natural means of the world. It's not, as the term supernatural suggests, something outside of the world, but rather as a part of the world that we're generally not aware of. And so it makes perfect sense that those omens will turn out to have natural explanations, but they're still an omen. And if I lived in Beebe, I think I'd be kind of nervous at the moment, because that must have an interesting meaning. I would assume that the birds probably have something to do with communication, because birds normally represent that, and the fish probably have something to do with emotion. But I'm not going to attempt to read the omen because I don't know anything really about that community or what it might represent in that area of the country. But in my mind it would mean something. Now, an omen is basically a message from spirit. And omens and divination, which are basically organized systems of omens, work on the common assumption of as above, so below. And this is one of the most ancient teachings in metaphysics. And the idea of as above, so below is the idea that the divine is reflected in everything that exists, and that everything that exists can be used as a vehicle for communication with the divine. Therefore, even the most mundane object can reveal aspects to you of divine truth, of existential reality, etc. And really, anything can be used for divination, anything can be an omen. We have many different tools that we use for this, many different systems, but you can make your own, and it will work just as well as long as you have a clearly defined language for the messages to come in. One of the most famous examples of divination from early in human history is dream interpretation. And it's also, in its way, a very good example of the nature of divination, because, of course, the actual meaning of dreams will vary from person to person or from culture to culture according to their understanding of the symbols involved. For example, the symbol of a snake would mean something very good to a person for whom the snake is a symbol of wisdom, energy, and power, and something very bad for people to whom the symbol of the snake is something else. Similarly, a seashell could have one meaning to someone who lives by the sea, and a totally different meaning to someone who does not. To someone who's perhaps never seen the sea, it would have a wholly different meaning to someone who lives right on the shore. And therefore, in interpreting dreams, you must consider the meaning of the symbolism to the person. And this is true really throughout all of divination. Whenever you do divination, whoever is interpreting the message is using their own understanding of the symbols. And therefore, no two people ever really do it in quite the same way. Even if they think they are, there will be variations because every person is different. So anyway, those are some thoughts for tonight. I hope you enjoyed them. And until next time, may you blessed be. And don't forget our books, Witch School First, Second, and Third Degree, Ritual and Theory and Practice, and Living the Wiccan Life, available now at a bookstore near you, or get them direct from us at www.witchschoolstore.com.